Welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial we are going to discuss or learn about configuring IVR. We are going to configure IVR or Auto Attendant on my voice business using ACD. In our previous video we looked at the same configuration, but we were using call flow administration, which is a feature on my voice business 10.1 going forward. So today we are not going to talk about call flow administration. We are going to use ACD, which means Automatic Call Distribution. So we are going to harness ACD and make it play our IVR or Auto Attendant. There is also another way of doing the Auto Attendant using voicemail. There's also a video on the channel. You can look for the video which shows you how to do basic call attendant using voicemail, which is the voicemail Auto Attendant. But this is not also the subject of this discussion. We are interested in using ACD. So we've got two prompts. We've got our own two prompts here. We've got prompt number 1, which is going to be for when the business is open. This is going to be our prompt number 1. Which plays when business is open. So prompt number 1 for business open, it is like this. When business is open, this is the prompt that is going to play, and I'll play it now just for your appreciation.
Thank you for calling lab. Press 1 for sales, press 2 for technical, or hold for the operator. If you know the extension number that you want, please dial it now. To repeat this message, press 3. Thank you.
So prompt number 2 plays when business is closed. And this is the prompt that plays whenever the business is closed. So I'll play that prompt for your appreciation.
Thank you for calling lab. We are currently closed for business. Our operating hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Thank you.
So we recorded this. I demonstrated how to record these prompts in the previous video, and also I demonstrated how to convert the audio into a suitable file format that is accepted by my voice business. You can see this is WAV format, which is CCIT ULO 8-bit 8 kilohertz mono. So this is the WAV format that the prompts should be in for them to be accepted by my voice business. So we move on. we move on. The first step for us is to log on to my voice business, which I shall do now. And we go to System Administration Tool. Okay, let's lay some roadmap. So we are going to configure, we are going to set class of service for RED, which is a recorded announcement device. We are going to set RED, class of service for RED. Then number 2, we are going to go to voicemail ports. We are going to look at the number of ports that we have and if they are sufficient for what we would like to achieve. And then we are going to assign those voicemail ports to directory numbers, which I can call extensions, which the dialable number for the ports. Then we are going to create a voicemail hand group, which is of the RAD type, and then we are going to assign our ports into the hand group, and then we are going to use this. Then we are going to use the hand group for playing our IVR or Auto Attendant messages. And then number 6, we are going to configure ACD. In this ACD, we are going to configure some lists, we call them, which are going to operate the press 1 for sales and press 2 for technical DTM key presses. So this is the list that we are going to follow. This is what we are going to do. So let's start by creating the class of service. So we are going to look for a class of service, but because of time, because I don't want this video to be long, because the other video lasted for 2 hours, I went ahead and configured a class of service for RED, which is class of service number 6, which is for our RED ports. And what is it that we did in that class of service? That's what we did is, let me just go and click on change. We are going to enable RAID. So we are going to say RAID announcement device. We are going to change this to yes. Let's go ahead and do that. We change that to yes, and then we are going to go to our message length timer. We are going to go to message length timer. Our business open prompt is going to be played, and this should be the duration of our business open prompt. So I'll just go and check the duration of our business open prompt. Let's check how the duration. Our business open prompt, it is 18 seconds. 18 seconds. So we are supposed to come and type that 18 seconds here. We are going to put 18 seconds here. Message. Then let's save and see if an error comes up, because normally we are supposed to also match the expected off-hook timer and the delay to message timer according to the message length here. So because our message length we have changed it to 80, we might want to also increase this delay to message timer. So the system will tell us, let's go ahead and save that. Recorded announcement device and hot desking are mutually exclusive features. So what this error is telling us is that when we enable recorded announcement device, which is read in a class of service, we must not have hot desking also enabled. So we'll go ahead and correct that. We will look for hot desk. So this is the hot desk. Everything is on no. But this one is saying hot desk login accept yes. So we change it to no. Then we are going to save. And it is saved. It is accepted. So the next thing that we are now going to do is to go to voicemail. So when voicemail displays like this, because we are supposed to have voicemail configurations here. So when it displays like this, we are going to go to license option. We go to voicemail, embedded voicemail. We assign something here. Remember, this is a license that we should have purchased, and then we do this. This operation will require a system reboot. We say OK. Then we are going to reboot the system. The command for rebooting the system is reset system. We submit. This command requires confirmation. We confirm by clicking on OK, and it says restart call server in progress. So I'll just log out and we wait for the call server to finish restarting, that is rebooting. Let's wait for it to complete the reboot, then we can continue. Okay, let us check if the system has finished booting. We go to System Administration 2, And let's look at voicemail again. Now voicemail is configuration settings. So what this is telling us is that we can make use of voicemail to configure auto attendant or IVR if we are not licensed for embedded voicemail. If we are not licensed for embedded voicemail, we will not be able to configure the ports. Now we go to voicemail system settings, voicemail port capacity. The port capacity is on 120, which for me is an overkill. I'll change this to, and then I'm going to reduce, but it's saying changing voicemail port capacity will require a system reboot. So make sure that when you want to change the voicemail ports either by increasing or reducing, you will then be required to reboot the system. So I am going to go ahead and say OK, and then I'm going to reduce them to 10, and then I will save, and then we'll go back to reboot the system once more. So you might want to do this exercise when there is a maintenance window on your system, so that you don't end up disturbing business. So I'm going to click on submit. This command requires confirmation. I say OK. Restart call server in progress. I will just log out before, and then log out before the system becomes unresponsive, and then I wait for the system to finish booting. Let us now check if the system is done booting again. We go to System Administration tool, and we go to Voicemail, System Settings, Voicemail Port Capacity. We confirm that it is on 10, and indeed it is. Then we go to Voicemail Ports. This is where we are going to assign directory numbers to the voicemail ports. As you can see, we've got our voicemail ports here. We've got voicemail port ID, which is probably, you can also just call it voicemail port number. Number 1, you can see it is no directory number here. It is no directory number. So we are going to assign directory numbers. So in our case, we are going to assign port 1 directory number or extension number 6001. Then port 2 is going to be 6002. Then port 3 is going to be 6003, and so on until we get to port 10, which is going to be 6010. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to change for 10, and then we are going to increment from 6001. We increment by 1. We leave everything else unchanged. We save. Okay, now that we have saved we have created our we have assigned directory numbers to our voicemail ports. Expectation is that if I call internally, if I call with another extension, if I call 6001, it should be callable, it should be dialable, it should ring and answer with a voice message, or any of these from 6001 up to 6010. So I'll go ahead and test that. So when I try to call these ports, I cannot call them. So for me to be able to call them, I have to restart. Number one, I have to restart the whole my voice business, which means that I'm going to interrupt business. I am going to interrupt business operations of the phone if I restart my voice business. Or number two, I can restart the voicemail service itself. So to restart the voicemail service itself, we do it from the SSH console. We SSH onto my voice business with the root account, and then we switch to VXWorks shell. Then we put the VXWorks shell command, which is IPVM _stop, and then we are going to follow it up with IPVM _start. Then we are going to get out of the VXWorks shell, back into the SSH console shell, and then we exit. So let us go ahead and do that. I'm going to open a Terraterm, and I'm going to SSH to my voice business, and I'll log in with root. This is root, and I'll enter the password. Let me just fix the font so that it is easy to see. So what we are seeing here is the SSH console for my voice business, but we need to go into the VXWorks console, and we do that by mcd debug. Now we are in the VXWorks shell. Then we are going to put the command IPVM _stop. Then we let the command run. Then when the command is completed, we again put IPVM _start. And we enter, we let that command run. And that command is completed, we get out of the VXWorks shell by Ctrl Z. Then we are back onto the SSH shell. Then we exit, or we log out. And this time I'll try to call again the ports. I am going to call again 6001 from an extension. My extension that I'm going to call with is 2001. Let's see what happens this time. Okay, the ports are ringing. Let us continue. So we are going to continue by going to services, then advanced, then station attributes. Remember, we had a class of service number 6 which we configured for a RAID. So we are going to go to our voicemail ports 6001 to 6010 and assign them to this class of service. Just go ahead and do that. I'm going to change for 10. Class of service for day, we change all to 6. Class of service for night 1, we change all to 6. Class of service for night 2, we change all to 6. And then we save. And then we move on. We go to advanced again. And then we are going to go to group programming. Group programming. We are going to program a hand group for RAID. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to create a hand group which we shall call 6099. We shall assign it the DN 6099 and is going to be type, it's going to be RAID. Then its members are going to be 6001 up to 6010. They are going to go into this hand group. Let us go ahead and do that. We are going to add hand group 6099. We will make it terminal. Hand group name, I'll say IVR RAID. Class of service is number 6 for RAID for day, number 6 for night 1, number 6 for night 2. Hand group type, we are going to change this from voice to RAD. Then we save that. And then I am going to add the members. I'm just going to add 10, which is 6001 up to 6010. I save that. So let's see if I can call 6099 from, let me see if we can call 6099 from extension 2001. Okay, it is ringing, but we want it to answer and play prompt. So let's go ahead and do that and make it play the prompt. So we are going to go to let's check something here. System access points embedded. Okay, that's fine. Let's check. We go to music on hold, system audio source, then we are going to select the RAID. It is saying RAID entry number 12200. So I am going to choose RAID number 1, and we are going to upload on RAID number 1. We are going to upload business open prompt. Then we update. Audio source updated successfully. So what we have done now, we have said RAID number 1, we put business open prompt. Business open prompt or a message. So the next thing that we are going to do, we are going to take this RAID 1 and assign it to our VM ports 6, 6001 to 6010. Let's go ahead and do that. Do that by going to voicemail, system greeting, VM RAID greetings. Let's see. Let's hold on. We go to VM greetings. So these are our voicemail ports for port ID, which is port 1 up to port number 10, which is, we know that port number 1 is DN 6001 and port number 2 is 6002 up to 6010, and we want to assign these ports to RAID. We want to assign them as RAID ports, and so that they play RAID, not primary set 1, so that they are going to play RAID, and we want them to play the RAID in slot number 1 where we uploaded our business open prompt. So let us go ahead and do that. I'm going to click on change, then I'm going to change for all 10. I am going to change all to RAID 10. RAID set 10. We save. Now let's see what happens now if I call 6099, which is our hand group for RAID, where these ports are. I'm going to call it from my extension, which is 2001, and let's see what happens when I do that. So when I called 6099, it just rang once and then it hanged up. So let's see why. Here we took port 10 and we assigned it to RAD set 10, but we went and uploaded and updated our prompt on RAID 1. So now let us go and change and upload it to RAID 10. Go to RAID number 10, we browse, we take our business open message and then we update. Audio source update was successful. Let's see what happens when we call now. It rings once and then it hangs up the call. Then we'll continue. We continue by going again to voicemail greeting, voicemail greetings. We have set there. We go to VMRAD greetings. That's set 10. We change and we say greeting number 10. Let's see what happens when I call 6099 now. Then I'll explain what it is we have done here. I'm going to call again ungroup RAID 6099 from my extension 2001.
Thank you for calling Lab. Press 1 for sales, press 2 for technical, or hold for the operator. If you know the extension number that you want, please dial it now. To repeat this message, press 3. Thank you.
So when I called the business open, prompt plays. So what is it that we have done? We have to take a step back. We come here. We go to our voicemail ports 1 to 10, which we know are extension number 6001 up to 6010. We assign them to a RAD set number 10. Then we went to the RAD set number 10 on greeting number 10, and we uploaded our business our business open prompt on this greeting number 10. We did that by going to music on mode, system embedded source. We chose red and we chose number 10. So we chose this number 10 and we put our prompt here. And then we took this number 10 here. This is what we are calling greeting 10. And this is our red set number 10. So this is where we are saying for red set number 10, play greeting. For greeting number 1, play number 10. The message that is in this position, which is business open. We can also have number 11 probably having another message playing as greeting number 2, which says something else, which means after we play this message we are going to join it with another message probably which says goodbye. Okay, note that even though when we call our hand group, our red hand group 6099, and it plays the prompt, if while the prompt is playing and I press 1 for sales, or I press 2 for technical, nothing is going to happen. The prompt will just continue playing until the end, and then it's just going to hang up because we haven't assigned these keys for them to be active, so that if somebody presses 1, it's going to go to sales. So right now it's just a message that is playing and it's not followed by any action. So let us configure the action now when keys are pressed. Let us go and create we want to create hand groups for sales and for technical. When somebody presses 1, it should go to sales. If somebody presses 2, it should go to technical. And what is sales? Sales will be a hand group. No, let's make sales a ring group. And also technical a ring group. This was explained in the other video why we need to make them ring groups as opposed to hand groups. So let's go and make them ring groups. So sales, we are going to make it ring group with a dialable number of, let's just say 6091. technical 6092. And then we put members in the groups. Members are the extension numbers that should ring when 1 is pressed for sales or when 2 is pressed for technical. These are extensions that belong to technical people or sales people. So let's go ahead and configure those. I'm going to click on add a ring group 6091. We are going to, for ring mode, we are going to ring all. Class of service, we leave it as default, which is 1, where the extensions are operating. And then ring group name, let's call it sales. Sales ring group. And then we save it. And then we add a member. Just going to add one member, which is that one, and we save it. And we are going to create technical ring group 6092. We are also going to, for the ring mode, you are going to ring all as well. Then we leave everything else on default. So I've explained why we are choosing ring all, but we can also have an option to choose terminal cascade ring, terminal ring, circular cascade, or circular ring. But we are just going to, for optimization, we are going to choose ring all, and we save. And then we are going to add a member. Just going to add one member for this, which is 2001 as well. Now that we've got our ring groups, the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to go to ACD. Then we are going to create an ACD agent skill group. And let's do a bit of an explanation. ACD. So ACD is an agent skill group. And this skill group will belong to an agent path. So an agent path is what we would call a queue. An agent skill group normally has agents. So when a call comes in from outside, it goes into a path, it rings a queue, it goes into a queue. And the queue is going to pass it on to a skill group. So the path is going to pass it to a skill group, and then a skill group is going to pass it to agents. But a skill group belongs to a queue. In a skill group has a reporting number. A queue also has a reporting number. So when a call comes into the queue and it goes to the skill group and the skill group passes to the agents, if there are no agents available in the queue, if there are no agents, number one, if there are no agents available, or all agents are busy. When there are no agents, because no agent is logged in, number one, the call will fail, the incoming call. The incoming call will fail for this scenario. If there are no agents in the queue, the call will just fail to ring. It's just an unsuccessful call. It is as if you are calling a number that does not exist. But if there are agents who are logged into the queue, but the agents are busy, which means all of them are on ongoing calls, the call is going to queue, which means the call is going to queue. The first call will queue on number 1, the second call will come and queue on number 2, third call will come and queue as call number 3, 4 is call number 4, and so on. And then if there is a music on hold configured, the calls in the queue will start to hear the music playing. It could be music, it could be a comfort message to start to play while they are in queue. So the queue can be configured in such a way that if calls are queuing and probably they've queued for 1 minute or any configurable time that you want, if they queue for 1 minute, the call should move on to elsewhere so that it gets answered there. So this could be an extension, this could be another queue, or this could be maybe a voicemail, so that they can leave a message and then they can hang up, or it could be an external destination. So in such a scenario where we say if calls start queuing because the agents are busy, and if a call queues for 1 minute, it should then go to be answered elsewhere. We call this overflow, and there is interflow. So overflow is when we send it to a different destination outside of an ACD configuration, which means it's going to an extension or a voicemail or an external destination. We call it an overflow. But if it goes to another queue, for example, it's called an interflow. It has moved from Q1 to Q2. This is an interflow. But if you move from Q1 to an extension, this is an overflow. So we can also configure so that when there are no agents in the queue, they are all logged out, they are not available, and a call comes in. Instead of the call failing, like we said, if there are no agents, the call will just fail. It is like you are calling a non-existing number. We can say in this scenario, instead of dropping calls, take it to number one. It could be another extension existing on the system, or it could be take it to another queue where there are available agents. We could also send it to voicemail or to an external destination. And in this scenario, in such a case where we are configuring for when agents are not available, for the calls to be taken elsewhere, we call this path unavailable answer point. So the path unavailable is very important to us, because this path unavailable answer point could be is going to be our operator, our operator extension number. So when we are using ACD as an IVR or a auto attendant, we want to create a queue with a skill group that has no agents. But because the skill group has no agents, it means the queue will never take calls. Because we say if a skill group or a queue has no agents, an incoming call will be received as if it has called a number that does not exist, and it will drop, it will just hang up. So we have to, but we are going to create a queue that has no agents. So what it then means is that we are going to configure for this queue to allow to queue calls as if it has agents, but the agents are busy. And we said when a queue has agents that are busy, it will queue the calls. And we said when calls are in a queue, music or a message can be played to them. And we are going to take advantage of this to play our business open message. Our business open message prompt or a message. So because our message says press 1 for sales or press 2 for technical, it means if a call comes into the queue, it's going to be queued, and once it's queued, this message is going to play, and then the caller is going to hear, and they are going to select whether they want to press 1 or press 2. So when they press 1, the system should then transfer that caller to sales. And for this to happen, we are going to create an interflow list. That is 1 assigned to sales and 2 assigned to technical. Let us carry on, and then I will explain further as we move on with the configuration. So we go to users ACD and ACD agent skill group. We go to users, go to ACD, and we go to agent skill groups, and we are going to add IVR AA skill group, and IVR AA will be the name. Then it is no agents, and then we shall allow it to receive calls when there are no agents. When there are no agents logged in, and queue the calls. Okay. We are going to click on add skill group ID number. We are going to give it skill group ID number. Let's call it skill group let's call it 2091, and the path, let's call it 3091. Okay, let's call it skill group ID is equal to 3001, path ID is equal to 3011. So this is a dialable number, or like an extension. This is a, if you call 3011, it will take you into the queue. So I'm just making them like this so that if this is our set of skill group and path ID for probably a IVR 1, and then maybe we are going to program another IVR 2 for something else, it will also have its own set of skill group ID and path ID, which will then say it's 3002 and this is going to be 3012 and so forth. And then if you decide to create another IVR, maybe number 3, it will have its own skill group and path of 3003, like this. Skill group ID number 3001, skill group name IVR AA skill group. Skill group reporting number, I'll just say 101. Can say group real-time events enabled. We can say yes if you want to collect statistics, but for this configuration we might just leave it on no. But what is important, very important, is this, what I've been explaining, that we are creating queue callers to group when no local agents are logged in and present. This should be on yes. Let's go and make it yes, and then we save. So what have we done here? We have created a skill group with ID 3001 with no agents. And we allowed it to queue calls. Without agents. So we need to assign this queue group 3001 to a queue, which is called as a path 3011. So let's go ahead and create the path and assign it this skill group. We go to ACD path. And we are going to add the path directory is 3011. Path name is IVR or Auto Attendant. Let's call it Q. Then the reporting number is 101, and we save. Now we got our queue here. Now we need to assign it a skill group, we come here to change member. So we are going to play a recording for the calls in the queue. We are going to play a prompt. Which is our business open prompt. So delay to start time should say 0. Delay to start time in minutes is 0 minutes, and delay to start time in seconds we can put 1 second, so that when the call comes in after 1 second the prompt starts to play. And what are we going to play? Audio settings, audio source. We are going to play let's do this. So we are going to play this has moved. We are here like this. The directory number is our hand group for RAID, which is 6099. So we are going to put 6099 here. And the next thing is this prompt, when it plays, is going to say press 1 for sales and press 2 for technical. So this 1 and 2 are defined in what we call path interflow dialing list, and we are going to do it for the list number 1. So we are going to put number 1 here, and then we are just going to configure this list number 1, what it is going to do when key number 1 is pressed, or when key number 2 is pressed, which is transfer to sales, transfer to technical. So let's enter these values and we explain further as we move on. Primary agent skill group ID is 3001. Delay to start in minutes is 0. Delay to start in seconds, it's 01. The directory number of the message that we are going to play, it's in 6099. And we are going to path interflow dialing list number 1. So this audio source is for what plays when the caller is pressed maybe 1 and transferred to sales, and while the transfer is in progress, do we want music on hold to play? Music on hold, or a music on transfer to play. If you want it to play, where is the source of that music that we are going to play? And we are saying it's an embedded music which is in slot number 1, port number 1, or position number 1, which is the system wide, which the system plays for any other call, maybe internal or external. So let's not worry about this for now, but we can just configure it as this until another video which talks about music on hold. That's when we shall explain this in detail. So we move further down. So you can see that these things are repeating. We have recording 1. And we move, we got recording 2 and 3. We move, got recording 3 and 4. And we move down, but we are just configuring on recording 1. And then we move down. We are going to say, is overflow allowed? We are looking for path unavailable answer point, which is this one. Okay, let's not configure that one. On second thought, let's leave it like that, and we save. So we have configured a skill group with no agents, which is 3001. We configured a path or a queue, which is 3011, and we assigned our RAD 6099 and group, which has ports in it 6001 to 6010, which is the prompt business open message. And it was also configured path interflow list equal to number 1. So let us discuss in detail what this path interflow list is. This is the path interflow list. So it shows path interflow dialing list number 1. This is what we assigned to our path. Which is a skill group of 3001 in it. So this interflow path What does it do? It says, it is asking a question, what must I do when digit 1, or let's start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this interflow list number 1 is asking this question, what must I do when somebody presses digit number 0 or number 1 or number, but in our case we've got 2. If somebody presses digit number 1, what must you do? Transfer 2. The question is, I'll transfer to where? And we say to the sales ring group. And what is the sales ring group? We said 6091. So we are going to come here against digit number 1, and then we are going to put 6091. But this transfer to, we call it a redirect to 6091. By redirect we mean transfer to, so it's going to say redirect to 6091. And when 2 is pressed, redirect to technical, which is a ring group 6092. Okay, let's explain further as we do it. So I'm going to highlight 1 and then change. This is list number 1. List number 1, I can just comment to say IVR AA list. When digit 0 is pressed, we don't want it to do anything, we leave it blank. When digit number 1 is pressed, we want it to redirect digits to 6091. When 2 is pressed, we want it to redirect to 6092. This is our ring group for sales. This is our ring group for technical. When 3 is pressed, we want it to repeat the message, which means we want it to come back to 6099. So we are going to put 6099 here. Let us go ahead and do that. And we save. Let's recap. We've created a skill group 3001. We assigned it to path or queue 3011, and we said once a call comes in, we can queue it briefly, queue it and play prompt. After 0 minutes and 1 second, we are going to play whatever is in this RAD 6099, and we've also said use interflow dialing list which is equal to number 1. And this list has said press 1 for sales and redirect to sales, and then it says 2 redirect to technical, and 3 repeat, and then it says hold on for the operator or hold for the operator, and our operator is extension 2001. So this is the last part that we are going to do in our interflow dialing list. If somebody does nothing, go to here. So let's do that. Hold on for the operator. We are going to go back into our path, and we are going to say change on member here. We are going to create an overflow. We are going to create an overflow to 2001. Okay, let's use interflow 2001. Interflow enable, yes. Interflow timeout in minutes. We know that our message, our prompt is going to play for 18 seconds. We said our business open message lasts for 18 seconds, so we can come and say here after 0 minutes and probably 20 seconds it should go to 2001. So if somebody calls into the queue as presented with the message press 1 for sales, press 2 for technical, or hold on for the operator, which means they are not going to take any action, they are just going to hold. So which means they are going to stay in the queue for the duration of this message to complete playing. Once the message ends and we get to 20 seconds, it's going to take this action for that call, which means it's going to transfer that call to 2001 at 20 seconds. So let us go ahead and configure that. Interflow enabled should be yes, and here it's 0 minutes. Interflow timeout in seconds, we take 20 seconds, and then we interflow to 2001. We save. Let's test it, see what is going to happen. Let me test here by calling 609.
Thank you for calling lab. Press 1 for sales. Press 2 for technical.
I'm going to select 1. Okay, let us recap again. We got our path for Q, which is got 3011, which will play red 6099, which plays business open message, and then we have assigned to the queue path interflow dialing list. Please go to number 1, such that when you press 1 it redirects to sales 6091, technical HG 6092. Do nothing, and then it will interflow to 2001, who is the operator. Or press 3 to repeat. It's going to 6099 again. So to test, we have to call. I'm going to test by calling 3011 from 2001. If it was from outside, we will direct our incoming calls to 3001 as the answer point or destination for incoming calls in your trunk attributes. Or speed dials. So I'm going to make a call from this extension, which is simulating a call from outside, or an external call.
Thank you for calling lab. Press 1 for sales. Press 2 for technical, or hold for the operator. If you know the extension number that you want, please dial it now.
Okay, let's test from this guy 3011.
Thank you for calling Lab. Press 1 for sales, press 2 for technical,
I'll press 1.
or hold for...
Hello? So the call went to sales. I'm going to choose technical this time.
Thank you for calling Lab. Press 1 for sales, press 2 for technical.
Hello? So the call went to technical. Let me choose 3 this time. I'll make another call.
Thank you for calling Lab. Press 1 for sales, press 2 for technical, or hold for the operator. If you know the... Thank you. Thank you for calling Lab. Press 1 for sales, press 2 for technical.
So I'm just going to
Hold
hold
for the operator.
If
you know the extension number that you want, please dial it now. To repeat this message, press 3. Thank you.
Okay, so I called the queue, I called into the queue. 3011. I pressed 1 for sales, it went through. I pressed 2 for technical, it went through. I pressed 3 to repeat the message, it repeated. The 4th thing, I held on for the operator, and this happened. But there is where it says if you know the extension number that you want, please dial it now. This does not apply. When we are using ACD for IVR or Auto Attendant. So make sure that your message, your prompt doesn't ask callers to do this. It shouldn't. And just as a recap, interflow means taking the call out of the queue, out of ACD queue, out of ACD queue to a non-ACD destination. overflow. Is taking the call from one ACD queue to another ACD queue. That is all for now. Thank you.